Hello the internet, it's your boy SmithLockwood! Welcome to part 2 of Disaster Mind, the Q&A with me, SmithLockwood. Now, I'm going to pick up exactly where we left off. Here we go. We're going to round 3 now, which is called All About You. Are you ready? I don't care if you're ready, I'm going. If you could be a superhero, what would your name and power be? Asks Sarah Jane and Sapphire Miller. Hold on a minute, hold on. I'm already a superhero. We're talking about Ads Man. There's a picture of that on my Facebook page and my profile picture, so come on now, keep up. But my superpower, that's more difficult. I can't be something boring and usual. How about the ability to take away people's sadness and turn it into tasty cakes? I like that power. I take away sadness, turn them into tasty cakes. Lauren Woods wants to know, if you could only keep 5 possessions, what would they be? Okay, so I really love writing, so I'd have to have a pen and paper, but they come as they come together, you know, one of those notepad pen combination things, because that only counts as 1. Secondly, I think I have to take some kind of music playing device because I love music so much, so an iPod or something like that. 3, probably my phone, which is rubbish and a horrible answer, and I hate that we live in that kind of world, but it means I get to keep in touch with all you beautiful people, so that would be good. 4 possessions, maybe a fridge, because I hate drinking really warm drinks. I mean, I don't mind tea and that kind of thing, but if a drink is not meant to be warm, it has to be cold. I don't understand how people can drink lukewarm fizzy drinks. No. And my 5th one, I mean, you can't just pick a single book, right? I mean, like an e-reader, and we have loads of books on it, like an e-reader, so loads of books take with me. Perfect, beautiful. Move on. Chantal Litton wonders, would you rather never be able to speak again or always have to say everything that is on your mind? I really like speaking, and I feel like you'd probably become some kind of celebrity or some kind of, you know, very infamous person if you could only speak your mind. So I guess that I'd go with that. If I had to choose not speaking or speaking my mind all the time, I'd speak my mind all the time. I think that'd be really interesting actually. Natalie Gibson ponders, if you could switch bodies with anyone for a day, who would it be? Well, with a body like that, it'd have to be you, Magnum. Well, that is very kind. I do have a rather spiffing body, I suppose. It's very nice to know that you like my... Hang on, hello? Oh no, you're right. Prime time viewing. Yeah. No, excuse me. Next question. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay, says Izzy Franklin. 100% yay. Yes, definitely. And in fact, I held a poll on Twitter a little while back to see what people thought and to kind of get a final answer on this stupid question that comes up over and over and over again, and the results speak for themselves. Next question. Tamara York on Facebook wonders, if you could live in any Nintendo world, what would it be and why? No brainer. Has to be the Mushroom Kingdom. It's colourful, it's crazy, it's huge, it keeps growing all the time. There's a beautiful princess, you get to meet Mario, ride around on some Yoshis. Sounds perfect. If you could pick 3 famous people dead or alive to be your guests at a dinner party, who would they be and why? Asks Tammy King! Oh, okay, so I'd want it to be like a really, really awesome conversation. So I think it would have to be Buddha, Stephen Fry, someone funny, Robin Williams. That would be a great conversation. I feel like it would go deep, it would be funny, you know, knowledgeable, definitely. So you've been stuck on a desert island for 2 weeks. All you have is a Twix, a flashlight, and a photo of Richard Branson. How do you survive the next 2 weeks on the island? Asks Alice Allender. What? Okay, so Richard Branson is quite, you know, well loved, and he's an important businessman, so I feel like if he went missing, people would care. So I would very, very carefully tear the picture of his face so that it made like a silhouette that I could shine the torch through, and then I would project that image onto the sky, you know, onto the clouds and things. I'd get like high up on the desert island, on like the mountain or whatever, and shine it into the sky, a bit like a you know, like the bat symbol, like the, you know, and then the planes, the Virgin planes, and you know, the planes would see Richard Branson's face, and they'd be like, "Whoa, we need to stop and go and sort him out." And I'd eat the Twix because the Twix is beautiful. I'm saved. Over to Twitter now, and @4Q_. Excuse me. Pardon me. What's the dumbest way you've ever injured yourself? Without question, without question, the dumbest way I've injured myself was when I was younger. I used to wrestle with my teddy bears out in the back garden, and there was a time when I stood on top of my slide and I dived off the slide onto my arse onto this plastic table, because in wrestling they sometimes put each other through tables, but this table was made of solid plastic, and I jumped off this slide and landed square on my arse, and it hurt more than I'm willing to discuss at this time. That is the stupidest thing. I fell off a ladder as well directly onto my head like that, and my whole body bent over it, and my neck hasn't been the same since. So that was also wrestling. So don't try wrestling at home. It's not worth it.
At Deluded Theorist wants to know, what dog would you be if you were a dog? Because I can see you as a Labrador, but I'm not 100% and it's bothering me.
I'm glad that you've imagined me as a dog. Border Collie, they're really cool. Maybe a Labradoodle, you know, sort of mixed up a Labrador and a Poodle because of the hair or something. Woof.
And the bonus question in this round, Demi Lloyd asks, at what point in your life do you think you will be capable of admitting to yourself that you're no longer 23?
Never. Absolutely never. Because you know what? Age is a number. Age is in the mind. I am youthful. I'm exuberant. Got energy.
Quite. Speaking of being 23, our fourth round goes back into our contestants' past. It is called Rewind, and our first question comes from YouTube and Ian Rolls. He asks, what is your favourite childhood game? Do you still play a lot of video games? If so, what platform? And will you vlog about them?
I think the one that stole it for me was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It was just utterly mesmerising, and one of the very first fully immersive 3D games, I thought anyway, where you could just play it over and over again and you were always just teleported to that world and transported there in your mind. So that was incredible. I do still play a lot of computer games. Everything. I play the Wii U, the PS4. I haven't got an Xbox One yet. I don't think there's anything on there worth having it for. And I don't know, maybe I'll vlog with something like that later. I don't necessarily like watching other people play video games, so I don't know if people enjoy watching me, but I also know it's also very popular, but in the same hand, it's also, you know, very saturated, so I'm not sure, maybe.
Bit of a double question here. Both Lucy and Vicky have asked, if you could go back in time for one day and relive any moment again, what would it be and why?
You know, I'd like to go back to when I was like very, very young, maybe, because you don't remember that stuff. So if I can go back and relive it and see if you can remember it, a lot of people kind of suggest maybe you can't, maybe you don't have you haven't built the ability for you know, that kind of memory, or maybe you just, I don't know. I would love to know if you can remember that. So maybe, yeah, go back to when I was like 1 or 2 or something like that.
Deep. We're back with Ian Rolls. He asks, what's your biggest regret?
Oh, this question. I don't like to regret things. I feel like regret is a waste of time. You can never act upon it. You can never change things. So regret is a bit of a waste. But having said that, you know, I didn't stay in. I didn't live in when I was at uni. I commuted, and I always thought maybe that was a missed opportunity in many respects. Having said that, I met a lot of my friends, and in fact wouldn't be in the band that I'm in now if I'd have been to university, and I do quite like where my life has gone, so if I had to pick one, I'd pick that, but I don't really regret anything.
Oh! Well, viewers, we know what that means. The next question is the winner of the SmithLockwood Since Day One t-shirt. This is his favourite question. I'm getting awfully excited, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Okay, here's the question, and it comes from Twitter, @ShadowsGoddess. Abby asks, was there an event in your life that inspired you to be who you are?
Now, the reason this is my favourite question is because I'd never really thought about this, and I think, actually, of course, your whole life inspires you and creates the person that you are, but so yeah, to kind of really think about what inspired me to be who I am now, that's really interesting, and I had a really good think about this, so thank you for the question. It's wonderful. I think there were 2 events. I'm going to have to pick 2 events that really kind of, in my mind, changed who I wanted to be and who I became. The first was when I was at secondary school, and I went through a real phase of lying and not really being myself, and kind of exaggerating everything and saying things that I thought people wanted to hear. And like reflecting on that, I mean, I lost a lot of friends through doing that, and reflecting on that, I realised that a big part of why I acted that way was that I felt quite inferior and quite insecure. I lacked a lot of confidence in who I was. You know, I was interested in things I didn't think other people were interested in. I was considered a bit of a nerd, and I was, and I wasn't very good at dealing with that back then. So I made up this person that I thought people would like, and I, you know, said things that I thought people would enjoy me saying and all that kind of thing. And I think as a result of that, you know, obviously people don't like fake people. So that was the first thing. And then when I realised that, you know, I could no longer pretend to be somebody else, I just started to try and be me. And then when I got to college, I had a tutor of philosophy who took over from the real philosophy teacher. She was away on maternity leave. His name was James, and he was just this, he was young, he was like, you know, early 20s, and he was this crazy eccentric guy, very intelligent, just very off the wall. He would sometimes come in, you know, wearing ridiculous clothes like a feather boa or something, or you know, weird hats, and he would go off topic and he wouldn't even teach the syllabus necessarily. And no one really did well in the philosophy exams and things, but no one minded because they'd met this incredible human being who was just so unashamedly himself and would just be and act the way that he was. So those two events together made me realise that no one should ever be ashamed to be who they are, and in fact that's what makes people so wonderful. And if you accept who you are 100%, if you just let that wash over you and become you, then you're just much more attractive as a person. You're more approachable, people want to know who you are, and you feel better in yourself, I'm sure. And you know, I've been doing that now since college. I've decided just to be me and not pretend, and it is great, it's wonderful. And you know what, I've actually ended up with, you know, truer friends, and you know, a more realistic life, a more real life, something that you can really, you know, get your teeth into. And I owe that to those two experiences, I think. So those are the two main factors, I think, that inspired who I am now and what I've become now.
Well done, Abby. The t-shirt is yours. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's an awesome question.
That's the end of that round. Can we please have an update on the scores? Our final round of the game is called Quickfire. Quickfire is what you imagine it would be. I'm going to ask questions very, very quickly, and our contestant must also answer them very, very quickly. Are you ready? Very, very quickly.
I'm ready very, very quickly.
Would you be willing to eat a bowl of crickets for £40,000?
Without question, yes.
Please can you never dab in my presence again?
Can't promise anything.
What do you order at Nando's?
Have a chicken menu with pair chips and garlic bread.
If you could design your own emoji, what would it look like?
I already have. It's called the J-face. Can you do this? Looks like that.
Who is your favourite character to play as in Super Smash Bros?
Link.
Would you rather use eye drops made of vinegar or toilet paper made of sandpaper?
Toilet paper made of sandpaper.
What show should I be watching right now? This one! I'll answer that one. On a scale of 1 to 13, how often do you shave your armpit?
5.
What was the last picture you took on your phone?
This one.
If a movie was made about your life, who would play you?
For the body, Channing Tatum. For the looks, Ryan Gosling.
Who would win in a fight? Harry Potter, Iron Man, Thor, or you?
Me, bitch. Bring it. Bring it.
And now it's time for the final question of the round and the final question of the show. If you could know the absolute truth about any one question, what would it be?
I think I'd have to know how you knew this weekend.
That's it. Now we can calm down again. That is the end of Disaster Mind for today. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. That was a lot of fun.
Do you have any final regards for your viewers?
Definitely. I just want to say thank you so much. There were so many questions, so many in fact that I couldn't fit them all on, so I do apologise if your question didn't make it, but thank you very much to everybody. I enjoyed reading them all, and I really enjoyed answering them as well, so I love you guys.
Splendid. Thank you very much for watching today's edition of Disaster Mind. I have been your host, Magnum Magnusson, and if you do like the SmithLockwood channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment letting him know what you'd like to see from the channel in the future. That would mean a lot to him. Thank you very much, and please do enjoy the rest of your lives.